Welcome to Exchange Student Basics. This presentation was developed to assist new exchange students attending Illinois State University on J-1 student visas. It has been designed to help you better understand how your visa status will affect your student life. International Student and Scholar Services, or ITIS, is the campus unit dedicated to assisting ISU international students. We are here to help advise you if you have questions regarding your J-1 status, but it is important to remember that you are ultimately responsible for knowing the immigration regulations and taking appropriate action to maintain your legal status. Immigration Basic Number 1. Keep your immigration documents updated and safe. As a J-1 student, one of your most important immigration documents is your DS 2019. This document is unique to J-1 status and contains information regarding who you are, your program, and how you will pay for your education. It is important that the information on your DS 2019 is correct. If any of the information on the DS 2019 you received in your welcome packet is incorrect, please contact international students at illinoisstate.edu. It is important to note the dates on your DS 2019 document. Your program start date should correspond with the start of the semester for which you were admitted. You cannot enter the U.S. more than 30 days prior to this date, and you must check in with International Student and Scholar Services by this date. You are expected to finish your program by the program end date. The program end date on your DS 2019, not your visa expiration date, is what determines how long you can stay legally in the U.S. in J-1 status. It is also important that you sign your DS 2019 document as an indication that you have read and agreed to the information contained in it. Your DS 2019 is not valid unless you have signed it. There are several other important immigration-related documents besides your DS 2019. The first is your passport. Your passport serves as proof of your identity and citizenship. You must have a valid passport while in J-1 status, so make sure that you know your passport expiration date. Your visa is another important immigration document. The J-1 visa stamp in your passport is similar to a ticket into the United States. Once you are here, it can expire and will have no effect on your J-1 status. If, however, you choose to travel outside of the country, you will need a valid J-1 visa in order to re-enter. Make sure that you know your J-1 visa expiration date if you have plans to travel outside of the U.S. You cannot renew your visa from within the U.S. ITIS recommends you renew in your home country. You should check the website of the U.S. consulate in your home country for details. Just because you were issued a J-1 visa at a U.S. consulate does not guarantee you will be allowed into the country. The CBP officer at the border has the jurisdiction to deny you entry. Your I-94, along with the U.S. entry stamp in your passport, serve as proof that the officer admitted you into the U.S., what visa status you were admitted as, and how long you are allowed to stay. Every time you enter the U.S., you are issued a new I-94. You must go online to the CBP website in order to retrieve your I-94. ITIS recommends that you save a copy of your I-94 for your records and also provide our office with a digital copy to add to your student file. Immigration Basic Number 2. Check in with ITIS and attend orientation. What is ITIS? International Student and Scholar Services is the campus unit dedicated to assisting ISU international students. We are also the unit in charge of reporting to the Department of Homeland Security about J-1 students at our institution through updates made via the SEVIS system. The SEVIS system is a large government database used to track international students attending U.S. institutions. ITIS has 2 international student advisors who are both also alternate responsible officers, or AROs. ARO is the term given to someone who has gone through specialized training in order to have access to update the SEVIS system and sign DS 2019 documents. Throughout the presentation, the terms International Student Advisor and ARO will be used interchangeably. You will be assigned to an advisor based upon your visa status. Your ITIS advisor is here to help you. Feel free to ask for help with any issue you are facing. We want you to be successful and are happy to assist. In order to maintain your J-1 status, you are required to check in with ITIS and attend orientation. Check-in is held during the first 2 days of orientation and is just one part of the larger event. The check-in process involves completing a checklist of important tasks. One of these tasks is to show ITIS your important immigration documents, so please bring them with you when you come to check in. Once you have completed the check-in process, your ARO will be able to update your SEVIS record to show that you have arrived at ISU and are enrolled full-time. Orientation is a larger 3-day event meant to help international students transition to life on campus. It includes an open house featuring campus and community organizations, including banks and cell phone companies. There will also be food, fun, and prizes, along with the opportunity to get to know your fellow international students. We also offer campus tours, computer help, and important informational sessions to help you be successful at ISU. Please remember, check-in and orientation are mandatory for all J-1 international students. Immigration Basic Number 3. Report changes to ITIS. As was mentioned earlier in this presentation, SEVIS is a large government database used to track international students attending U.S. institutions. It is an acronym which stands for Student and Exchange Visitor Information System. Your SEVIS record can be thought of as the real-time digital version of your DS 2019. It contains all the information listed on your DS 2019 and more, including passport, visa, and I-94 data, current address, and work authorization information. The information contained in your SEVIS record is important and can be used by various U.S. government agencies to help verify your J-1 status. It is important to remember that ITIS is the campus unit in charge of updating your SEVIS record, but you are responsible for reporting any changes in your information to your International Student Advisor. Just like with your J-1 immigration status, you are ultimately responsible for making sure your SEVIS record stays up to date. This graphic shows the flow of information to the SEVIS system. In most cases, the flow of information is one way, student to ARO to SEVIS. But sometimes the SEVIS system interface will make a change to a student's record, or an automatic alert will be generated for a student based on information in their SEVIS record. In this way, sometimes your ARO will be alerted to changes made to your SEVIS record or an impending change that will occur if no action is taken. If that happens, your ARO will contact you via your Illinois State email account for any follow-up that may be required. So please, read all emails from ITIS. They may contain information vital to maintaining your J-1 status. Since your ARO is the individual with the ability to update your SEVIS record, it is important to let your ARO know about any changes to your information. Two of the most common changes are address changes or changes in contact information. J-1 students are required by immigration regulations to report any change in address within 10 days of moving. You can report this type of change by updating the mailing address in your Go Illinois State account. ITIS will be automatically alerted to the change in the system and update your SEVIS record with your new address information. If any of the information on your DS 2019 changes after you arrive on campus, you should report the change to your ARO. Immigration Basic Number 4. Enroll full-time. Immigration regulations require that all J-1 students be enrolled full-time. At Illinois State University, full-time for an undergraduate student is 12 credits. An academic advisor will be assigned to you. This advisor will work with your international student advisor to make sure you are enrolled in the proper courses. You must contact them if you wish to add or drop classes before doing so. J-1 students are not permitted to take online courses as part of their program. Immigration Basic Number 5. Engage in cultural exchange activities. One of the main purposes of the J visa category is to strengthen bonds between the U.S. and other countries through cultural exchange. As part of your studies at ISU, you are expected to take part in cultural activities. This may include forming friendships across cultural barriers, attending ISU student programs, or going on international house trips to learn about American and Midwestern culture and history. Immigration Basic Number 6. Work legally. J-1 students must receive work authorization from their ARO before starting any work on or off campus. While school is in session, J-1 students are allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week on campus. During the spring, summer, and winter breaks, while school is not in session, you are allowed to work more than 20 hours per week. There is no specific maximum number of hours that can be worked during the breaks. All off-campus work must be an integral part of your program and must be authorized by both your academic advisor and your international student advisor. Remember, any work on or off campus requires prior work authorization, even if the job is unpaid. Immigration Basic Number 7. Maintain health insurance coverage. As a J-1 visa holder, you are required to maintain full health insurance coverage during your program dates. All full-time students at ISU are automatically enrolled in ISU's health insurance. This insurance exceeds all Department of State requirements. Students can choose to waive this insurance with proof of comparable insurance. Our Student Health Insurance Office will confirm whether your insurance covers the requirements. If it does not, you will be required to purchase ISU's health insurance. Health insurance requirements are noted in your pre-arrival guide. Plan information can be sent ahead to international students at illinoisstate.edu if desired. Immigration Basic Number 8. Ask your international student advisor first. Listed on this slide are some common situations in which an international student should contact his or her international student advisor. It is also important to note that you should contact your international student advisor prior to traveling outside of the U.S. J-1 students who travel outside of the country must have a valid travel signature from their ARO on page 1 of their DS 2019. Your international advisor can help to make sure you have all the important immigration documents for your travel and provide a travel signature if necessary. As an exchange student at Illinois State University, you are not required to pay tuition. Please note that tuition fees are not paid by our office until after the add drop deadline, which is 2 weeks into the semester. Tuition fees on your bill can be ignored. Exchange students are responsible for the payment of general fees unless your home institution includes this cost in the agreement. If you are here on a sponsorship program, your sponsor will take care of all billing that has been agreed upon. Contact the organization for more information. For questions about fees, you can refer to the budget on our website that was a part of your application process. You may also contact international students at illinoisstate.edu with specific questions. You should always feel welcome to contact ITIS with any questions you might have. Our website is also a great source of information. The web address, main email, and main phone line are listed below. Your International Student Advisor will hold regular walk-in hours, during which most of your issues can be addressed. Only in special complex circumstances will it be necessary to make an appointment with your ARO. You can visit the ITIS website for more information regarding available dates and times for each. Thank you for listening to this presentation of J-1 Immigration Basics. Please make sure to take the J-1 Immigration Basics quiz to test your knowledge. The International Student and Scholar Services Unit hopes that by presenting this information to you ahead of time, you will feel more confident and prepared when you arrive on campus. We look forward to meeting you and welcoming you as a new member of the Global Redbirds at Illinois State University.